Welcome back to Math Mini Lessons. My name is Sarah. Let's jump right into today's lesson. We're going to continue working on long division and dividing to the thousandths place. Here's our criteria for success. Again, this is what we're looking for to show that you mastered the topic. That you can represent remainders as decimals in division problems, again to the thousandths place, that you can expand your understanding of long division to include decimal remainders, and that you can fluently divide accurately and consistently. So with that, let's jump into today's model. Our goal in this lesson is to be fluent as we divide all the way to the thousandths place, or actually nearest hundredths place. So that's what we're going to think about as we do this. And by fluent, it just means, can we do it consistently and accurately? That's what it means to be fluent in something. Like when you're reading fluently, you're reading without breaks, it's in a natural pace, and you're reading most of the words correctly. So that's what we're looking for today with our work as we're dividing. So we're going to jump right into a problem with Maria, another awesome name. That was actually my mom's name, Math Marbles. Maria bought 4 identical pieces of wood. When placing all the pieces of wood together end to end, they formed a line that was 7 meters long. When asked how long each board was, Maria said each piece was 28 meters long. What is the error that Maria made? How much does each piece of wood measure? So in my own words, they're asking us 2 things. 1, we have to identify Maria's mistake. And 2, we're going to find the length of each piece of wood. And I'm going to give you a little bit of a hint here. Oftentimes when there's an error in the work, it's because of something that mathematically, somehow it makes sense to this person. Like it's not a random thing. So what is the simple error either in their thinking or in their procedure that made an error? So I want you to think about that. Back to the problem. What are the facts of the story? We know that there are 4 pieces of wood. We know that when they're lined up together end to end, they are 7 meters long. And we know that Maria believes that each piece of wood is 28 meters long. And in my plan in words, we're going to divide the total length of wood, 7 meters, by the number of pieces, 4. So I know what the total is. I have 7 altogether, so we're going to divide that by 4. And we're going to think about how she could have gotten 28 meters. We're going to try and figure out where that made sense in her mind. So let's see it in action. Here's my plan as an expression. 7 divided by 4 equals n, which is the length of each piece of wood. All right, so let's put that into our long division form. And 7 divided by 4 is 1. We're going to, again, go to the nearest hundredths. So we have it there. All right, so we have 1, subtract 3, bring down the 0. 30 divided by 4 is 7. 7 times 4 is 28. So nice to have easier numbers. Notice that when it's nice, simple numbers, I don't need my list. But if you need it, Math Marbles, you can absolutely do it. It's whatever works for you, whatever helps you in this process. Okay, and 20 divided by 4 is 5. And this one ends nice and easy into a nice even number. So I can actually put the other 0 here, but I don't really need it. So I get 1 75 meters. So that's how much each piece of wood is equal to. So let's jot this down. Each piece of wood is 1 75 meters long. So now we have to think about Maria's error. How did she get to 28? What do you think she did to get to 28? And it has to make sense on some level. So we know that she saw that there were 4 pieces of wood and that there was 7 meters long. So what could she have done? And I think I know, because 4 and 7, I think what she did was she multiplied, because that would have given her 28. Maria's error was in her plan. She multiplied 4 and 7 instead of dividing 7 by 4. 4 times 7 equals 28. All right, and I know this absolutely doesn't make sense because if we're putting 4 pieces of wood all together, and we know that all together this makes 7, it doesn't make sense that each of these was going to be 28. There's no way that 28 plus 28 plus 28 plus 28 was going to give us 7. So simple error. She had the right numbers. She just chose the wrong process. It happens when we're rushing. But if we take our time and really think through about our plan and our information, we can more than likely just prevent a lot of these silly errors. Well, Math Marble, I hope this was really helpful. I hope in your practice you're becoming more and more fluent at dividing all the way to the nearest hundredths place. As you can see, it's not very different than any other division. It's just adding a decimal and just adding a few more numbers. But the process itself remains the same. Divide, multiply, subtract, bring it down. And when we get to the thousandths, we stop and we round. So that's it for today, Math Marbles. I hope this was helpful. Take care, and we'll see you in the next lesson.